I want to give a special shout out to all my patrons first. Thank you so much to my Bibliospren, Bibliohowlers, and my Bibliomancers. It means a lot to me that you give me your extra support for my passion and hobby. Hi everyone, Petrik here. This will be a short introduction. You might have noticed that these books are missing because today I will be doing a ranking of all the Kickstarter campaign fantasy books that I own. If you watch my SFF Spotlight video, which just turned 1 year last week, you might have noticed there is a sudden explosion of Kickstarter campaign and also special edition in the adult science fiction and fantasy genre. And this boom in special editions, it's not stopping anytime soon. I think it will only get more insane. So the main purpose of this video is to showcase how beautiful special editions can be, especially in self-published fantasy. Because until now, most Kickstarter campaign is done by self-published fantasy authors. This is done either to fund their production for their hardcovers or maybe to do a special editions. And today I will be doing a ranking specifically only for the Kickstarter campaign fantasy books that I own. And lastly, before I get started with the video, full disclosure first that I bought 5 of the books I'm going to mention today, and the rest were sent to me by the authors. And I love every Kickstarter campaign fantasy books I'm going to mention today. I love all of them, even though I will be doing some criticisms, but I want to make it clear that I am grateful for all the books sent to me, especially these beautiful and stunning special editions. But again, the main purpose of this video is to give you viewers an idea and let you judge for yourself whether these books and their price tag are worth it or not. So I'm judging all these books really based only on the production value and also the price tag. Our criteria to what makes a special edition special could be different, and I'll be talking about my personal preference as I go through the ranking in today's video. But with so many upcoming Kickstarter campaigns, I think it might be a good idea to give you a detailed look on this Kickstarter campaign fantasy books, this Kickstarter campaign special edition. Once again, I will only be ranking the Kickstarter campaign fantasy books based on the product, not the Kickstarter campaign themselves. So yeah, let's get started. Okay, first we have Farilane, a Fox Limited Leather Edition by Michael J. Sullivan. The goal of the Kickstarter campaign was $30, and the funding of the Kickstarter campaign reached $200,000. So yeah, that's pretty impressive. And this is the Fox Leather Edition. The standard hardcover edition costs about $40, and this one costs $85. And although this is very beautiful, I cannot deny that. Take a look at the custom cover art by, I think, the daughter of Robin and Michael Sullivan, and there is a hub spine to it. If I'm not mistaken, this hub spine is incredibly expensive to make, and it makes the book look like a classic book. And on the back, it is empty. So the thing that I really like about this one is, of course, the Fox Leatherbound edition and also the custom cover art. However, personally speaking, when it comes to special edition, especially funded through Kickstarter campaign, I like having interior art inside the book. And for a price tag of $85, it is such a shame that this book doesn't have any interior art except the end papers of the standard hardcover cover art by Mark Simonetti in its full spread. It's beautiful. It is beautiful. But I think if it's from my perspective, I would rather get the standard hardcover compared to the leatherbound edition, because the price differences between the two are too vast. The standard hardcover again is $40 and the Fox Leather edition is $85, and there are no differences in content. And with that in mind, next on the line we have Nolyn by Michael J. Sullivan. This is the standard hardcover edition. The price of this one is $35. And there is, of course, a Fox Leatherbound edition, just like Farilane that I just showed you earlier. But that's the thing, there are no differences except for illustrated end papers in terms of content. And this one, the cover art is done by Mark Simonetti, and I love the cover art. Mark Simonetti is one of my favorite artists. I actually feel kind of sad that the Leatherbound edition actually doesn't use the cover art done by him, even though the Leatherbound edition actually has a beautiful custom cover art. This is the spine. This is the back cover, and this is the binding. So in other words, although I do think the Fox Leather edition is actually more beautiful than the standard hardcover, but the prices differences are too huge and the content are pretty much the same. And because of that, I prefer, in terms of value, I prefer the standard hardcover compared to the Fox Leather edition. But I cannot complain. I will have to say thank you to Michael J. Sullivan and Robin Sullivan for sending me a copy of this one, and also Farilane to read and review. I just finished reading Nolyn, and it's pretty good. I look forward to reading Farilane next month. And next we have The Last Ranger by J.D.L. Rossell. This is the first book in Ranger of the Titan Wild series, and this was sent to me by the author. This has a cover art done by Felix Ortiz. This is designed by Sean King, and also this is the back cover. The back cover is empty, and I think it looks really nice. So for this one, the Kickstarter campaign, the goal of the Kickstarter campaign for this one is $500. I have no idea how that's possible, but it is. The Kickstarter goal is that low, that relatively low. And the funding reached $18,000, $80,400. And the price of this signed hardcover is $34 US. And I think it is worth the price because this book, it has a new custom map done by Kerr Scott Shooter, and also inside there are 6 interior illustrations, black and white, all of them by Felix Ortiz. This is an example of one of them. And there are 6 of them here. I'm going to show you 2 more. See, it's another one. All of them are done by Felix Ortiz, and I think Felix Ortiz is a great artist. I've talked about his art so many times on my channel, and you will hear me talk about him more often on this video. And this is another one. Yeah, so I think this is a nice edition, and for the price of $34, I do think that the signed hardcover for this one is worth it. The paper isn't as good as the one used for Farilane or Nolyn, but I like having interior illustrations to my book, and the one done by Felix Ortiz looks great, even though I haven't read this book yet. And for the next 3 on the list, we have 3 books that just arrived to my place, and they are Cradle, Book 1 until Book 3. Book 1 is Unsold, Book 2 is Soulsmith, and Book 3 is Black Flame. So for this one, this is one of the biggest Kickstarter campaign in history of publishing. The goal was $10,000 US. It reached $760,000. And that's really where I think, even though this is very premium quality, I also think that there are so many missed opportunities when it comes to Cradle Kickstarter campaign. So here's the thing. This is, again, very premium quality. The paper used is very incredible. I mean, this is up to the standard of Dragonsteel Leatherbound edition. The paper being used is that good. It is signed. But for a Kickstarter project that reached $760,000 in funding, it's kind of crazy, in my opinion, that there are almost no additional content in the books. We have only 1 black and white artwork, 1 unique black and white illustration in each book. So in Unsold, we have this one, interior artwork of Linden, and also a new chapter banner. Now, I'm going to show you Soulsmith, the second book. Again, pretty much the same as Unsold. And here we have, this is signed again, 1 interior artwork, black and white. This is of Yerin and Ethan, 2 characters from Cradle series, and a new chapter banner. That's it. This is applied to every chapter in the book. But that's it. There is no new additional illustrations, which is a shame again. And finally, we have Black Flame, the 3rd book in the series. This is a great book. Again, same cases as Unsold and Soulsmith, pretty much the same features, a premium quality of paper used for the book, and also a great binding, but we have only 1 new interior artworks. Ta-da! This is great illustrations, but I just wish we have more of them. Remember, this is one of the biggest Kickstarter campaign in history of publishing, and it's such a shame that we only have 1 interior artwork, 1 unique interior artwork for each book. But the price is great, and this is again the new chapter banner for Black Flame. The price is great, I cannot deny that. The pricing for these 3 books are pretty good. We have to pay $69 for the standard hardcover, which is this one. For the Fox Leather edition, which is similar to Farilane that I showed at the beginning of this video, the price is so much more expensive, and again, there are no additional content inside. The price for the 3 Fox Leather edition is actually $126, and personally speaking, I do not think it's worth it. I prefer having this one compared to the Fox Leather edition. Hopefully in the next Kickstarter campaign for book 4 until book 6, hopefully this will be considered. Hopefully there will be more bonus inside, like interior illustrations. I mean, this is a big success, a massive success for self-publishing and also for the Kickstarter campaign. It's such a shame that we don't have many bonus except that it has premium paper used for the hardcover. That's it. And moving on to the next one, we have The Purple Prince by Sebastien Menkes. The price of the hardcover is $45 and this Kickstarter campaign, the goal was $6,350 and the campaign reached $8,000. I think this is a beautiful hardcover. There is no dust jacket to this one, but I really like the design being given to this hardcover, and also it has great binding and also ribbon bookmark. It is signed, and plus there are 5 interior character illustrations inside this book, all of them illustration by Zefania Mega. It comes with a new custom map, tada, this one. And I haven't read this book yet. I heard plenty of great things about this self-published fantasy books, and it comes with the new chapter symbols by Mariator for all the POV characters. I think this looks great, and for the price of $45, I think this is quite a worthy value for a high quality self-published fantasy hardcovers. And the next one, we have The King Must Fall by Grimdark magazine. This is an anthology of short stories by many authors such as Bradley Beaulieu, Anthony Ryan, Adrian Tchaikovsky, Anna Smith-Spark, Cameron Hurley, Daniel Polanski, Trudy Canavan, Justin Cole, and many more. And yeah, the cover art is done by Felix Ortiz again, and the design is done by Sean King, the famous duo in self-published fantasy community. And this is a lovely addition in my opinion. This first begins with a black and white artwork of the cover art by Felix Ortiz, and for every short story in this book, there are 19 of them if I'm not mistaken, there is a new chapter art. This is one example. This is for The Dark Sun by Luke Skull, and here's another example. All of them, all the art for the chapter art are done by Carlos Diaz. Hold on. Tada, this is for Devin Madsen, What You Wish For. So yeah, I think this is a lovely edition. I haven't read this one fully yet, but I love it. I love this one, and thank you so much to Grimdark magazine for sending me a copy of it. I will be reading this and reviewing this as soon as I can. The Kickstarter goal for this one was $22,400, and the funding for the Kickstarter campaign reached $33,000. And what makes this one so worth it, in my opinion, is the price of the hardcover itself. The price of the hardcover, remember that it has all the bonus inside. The price of the hardcover is $30. So this is cheaper than all the books that I just mentioned, except for Cradle by Wight. And honestly, for the next two, I have a hard time deciding which one I like more and which one is more valuable, so just consider them as equal. So for the next one, this is not actually a deluxe or limited hardcover edition. This is a standard hardcover edition. And for a standard hardcover that is published through Kickstarter campaign, I think this one is incredible. This is Mother of Learning, Arc 1 by Nobody103, writing as Domagoj Kurmaic. And yeah, this is designed by Sean King. Take a look at the spine. This is the back cover, and I love this book. But again, I'm only considering the production value in this analysis. And the cover art is done by Mansik Young. I think Raidmark Creative has done plenty of great jobs in publishing great self-published fantasy hardcovers. And this is just another proof. This is a standard hardcover, but it comes with an illustrated end papers by Daniel Kamarudin. This is such a beautiful end papers, and also the design, the interior design, oh, and it's signed as well. And the interior design by Sean King just looks really nice in my opinion. This is at the start of every chapter. And this book is printed with high quality offset printing. And I read this book using this hardcover edition, and it actually enhanced my reading experience. And also at the end of the book, we have a new map of the world of Altazia done by Soraya Corcoran. And we also have a different back and paper, fully illustrated by Asur Misoa. So yeah, for a standard hardcover, this looks absolutely stunning. Just compare this, let's say, to the $85 of Farilane. that I showed you at the beginning of this video. I think this one has more value when it comes to the production value. The Kickstarter goal for this one was $10,000 and the Kickstarter campaign reached $126 in funding, and the price of this hardcover is $35. So yeah, impressive, absolutely worth it, and incredible. Now for the next one, the quality of the paper isn't as good as the one used by Mother of Learning, by Ratemark for Mother of Learning. But I have a hard time deciding which one I like more between Conspiracy and Mother of Learning, so I just consider them as equal. This is Conspiracy by A.C. Cobble, the first book in the Warhide series, and again, this is designed by Sean King. You will hear his name a lot as one of the best cover designers in self-published fantasy community. This is the back cover, and also the cover art looks really nice in my opinion. The cover art is done by Daniel Kamarudin. The design makes the cover art really looks like we're looking at a window, and I think it's really nice. It's really neat. It's kind of rare to have Sean King clean typography, and I think he should do this more often. But this one doesn't have any illustrated end papers. In exchange, we have, again, black and white cover art printed on the front page of the book, and we have 9 interior illustrations by Felix Ortiz. And also, every chapter begins with this black page, which I think looks really good. I'm going to show you 2 of the interior illustrations inside this book, all of them by Felix Ortiz. This is one. And I'm going to show another example here. Ta-da! And there are 9 of them. I haven't read this book yet, but again, this also features a new map by Soraya Corcoran. And for the price of $35, I think everything about Conspiracy by A.C. Cobble just looks really nice. The Kickstarter goal for this one was $7,000, and the Kickstarter campaign reached $61,000 US. So yeah, impressive, absolutely worth it. I look forward to reading this for the first time. We only have 4 more books to talk about here, and the next one is The Written by Ben Galley. Beautiful. I have done a full review of this special edition on my YouTube channel. You can check that out. But I think this is an incredible production value. The price of this signed hardcover is $49 US, which is quite pricey, but considering the content, it is also very understandable in my opinion. This comes with the red spray edges, and also every art inside this book is fully colored. It comes with a new map, new fully colored map by Soraya Corcoran. Again, it's her again. And also, I'm going to show you some of the interior artworks. Here's one of them. Ta-da! This is done by Dennis Korneff. I haven't read this book yet, so hopefully I did not and you did not get spoiled on that artwork. But yeah, this is another example of the interior art. It's mostly black and white, but there is the color red added to it, and then the next book will have the color blue and so on. But I think Dennis Korneff did such an incredible job with the interior illustrations. They are some of the best artworks I've ever seen. I don't know how Ben Galley found this guy, but he picked the right guy to illustrate his book. And also take a look at this design. And for the next one on this list, I am genuinely surprised why this one only has 100 backers, because this is the production value for this one is immense. The price is the same as Ben Galley's The Written. It is $48 US, but you cannot feel this, but this is very heavy. The paper used is premium quality, and this is the spine, this is the back cover, and also it comes with a ribbon bookmark, as you can see here. And this is Sul, From Gold to Iron and Rust by Jacqui Davis and K. Grierson. Love this one so much. I think as far as value goes, this is one of the best one that I have ever received so far. It comes with a fully colored map. That's the first one. But on top of that, on top of the premium quality paper used, every artwork inside this one, and there are more than 20 of them, all of them is fully colored. How the authors actually achieve this kind of incredible quality with $8,000 funding is quite insane to me. This is another one. Every artwork inside this book, all of them are illustrated by the authors themselves. So yeah, I think this is an incredible value, one of the best Kickstarter campaign fantasy books that I own. Definitely belong in the top 3 so far. So yeah, amazing job from Jacqui and Grierson. The Kickstarter goal for Sul was $4,500 and the Kickstarter campaign reached $8,100 in funding. Now for the remaining 2 Kickstarter campaign fantasy books, I must say this is a bit unfair, but again, I'm showcasing all the Kickstarter campaign fantasy books that I own. And of course, the next one is Tress of the Emerald Sea by Brandon Sanderson for the price of $40. I cannot emphasize this highly enough. I think this is an absolutely insane deluxe edition. Take a look at this cover art. Take a look at the foiling. I hope you can see it. And also, this is the spine. This is the back cover. It's so beautiful. And for $40 to get this, and then the illustration inside, this is the end papers, fully illustrated, and then there are plenty of designs, plenty of custom interior design put into the book. And then let's not forget all the artwork inside. This is the fully colored art by Howard Lyon, the same artist who did the cover art as well, and the end papers. And then there are plenty of interior artworks, like I think it's almost 20 in total. And this is the example of the black and white artwork with color green added to it. Ta-da! I'm going to show you another one. Hold on. Ta-da! And of course, this Kickstarter campaign is the biggest in the history of Kickstarter. At the #1 spot, it is not a surprise why the production value for this one is absolutely immense. The Kickstarter goal was $1 million, and of course, the total funding reached $41,750,000. Again, the biggest Kickstarter in the history of Kickstarter. Not just for publishing, but all Kickstarter projects. This is the biggest one. But this is not the best Kickstarter campaign fantasy book that I own. But the next one and the last one on this list, this is my favorite Kickstarter campaign fantasy books of all time. So far anyway. And this is of course The Way of Kings Leatherbound edition by Brandon Sanderson. And yeah, this is an expensive one. It comes with the slipcase and the price is $200. So it is kind of understandable why this reached the #1 spot on this list. And I need to thank Jen for sending me a copy of this one. I couldn't afford The Way of Kings Leatherbound edition, and I am so blessed that Jen actually sent me a copy of it. And yeah, the Kickstarter campaign for this one, the goal was $250,000 and it actually reached $6,700,000. I already did a full unboxing for The Way of Kings Leatherbound edition, and I need to mention that this one is not fox leather. This is actually real leather, and I think that makes this edition even more incredible in my opinion. And the slipcase, there is the symbol of the Night Radiant printed on it. Incredible, just amazing production value for this one. But I must say that this is very expensive. $200 is an expensive product. And for this kind of pricing, I do personally recommend you to read the book and find out first whether the book will be suitable for you or not before you actually purchase a book this expensive. And personally speaking, this is one of my top favorite books of all time. So I'm glad that I actually got this beautiful Leatherbound edition. So that's pretty much it. This is my ranking for the top 15 Kickstarter campaign fantasy books that I own. There are still many more Kickstarter campaigns ongoing and also upcoming, and I think it's kind of good to get an idea of just how beautiful some Kickstarter campaign fantasy books can be. And these are just examples. Our criteria for what makes a book a special edition will be different. Some will prefer having spray edges, some will not. Some will be happy to just have a premium paper being used on the book. And that's totally okay. We all have different preferences when it comes to the books that we own and what we want to buy. And I hope this video has been useful to all of you. Do let me know what you think about this video. And of course, do tell me which Kickstarter campaigns you have backed in the past and let me know what you think about them. And which one is your favorite of them all. And what do you think about the Kickstarter campaign fantasy books that I showcased today? As always, thank you so much for watching and thank you for your support. Bye bye. And tada, we have Choco Boy here. He wants to be a model. Tada, say bye bye, Choco. Say bye bye. Why are you sleeping here? Lastly, I want to say thank you so much once again to all my patrons who keep on supporting me.